Welcome to my views and news. Thanks for watching the channel viewers. So welcome to live chat. Can you hear me? Thank you for responding with yes. Let me welcome the participants. Tonight's live chat is very important. The topic very important. I have been working on it for the last 48 hours, and after the work of the last 48 hours I have reached some conclusions which I want to share with you. If you remember, I've been saying that no war is imminent between Eritrea and Ethiopia. So why am I saying now that war is imminent? War between, not imminent, that war is on the horizon. What does it mean? Between which parties? All that I'll explain in the next 30 minutes. Hopefully, I'll be able to complete the live chat because coughing, sneezing, fever, uh, stopping me from speaking for a long period of time. Let me welcome the participants first, then we'll get going. We have A genocidal state says, get ready, war profiteers. Well, who profits from war? People suffer. The parties to the war, they suffer too. And covering a war is not a healthy experience, by the way. It's not healthy, by the way. It's difficult. especially if you want to cover it neutrally. It's difficult. Uh, you make money. YouTube channels make money, whether they are about war or politics or music or comedy. People make money because they make videos. They put in their effort. We have Simon Tesfaye. Simon says, "Hi Sajid, good afternoon. Hope you're well." Yeah, I'm recovering. Simon, thanks for asking. Amora Era joined. Welcome, Amora. Michael Menthazer is sharing some news about Pakistan India tension. Well, people mention India Pakistan tension to divert me from covering the Horn of Africa, as if I'm covering up what is happening between India and Pakistan. You're not interested in knowing what is happening there, but you just want to divert me from covering the Horn of Africa. Why? I don't know. I mean, there's so many channels covering that conflict. So why don't you go watch them? You want me to cover that because you want to divert me from covering the Horn of Africa. Why? You can make videos on Pakistan India conflict. Let's see how many Pakistanis watch you, how many Indians watch you. Can you do that? It isn't easy, by the way. I am not African. Still, I found African audience. You call me war profiter. Now you make a channel and make videos about Pakistan, India. Let's see how many people watch you. Then we can compare. Hailu Arefene says, "Hi, brother. How are you, Hailu?" Interesting says, "Do you think if TPLF attacks Wulkait, Fano will split?" I'll respond to it. Mihari joined. Welcome, Mihari. Truth Media here. Alimo joined. Welcome, Limo. Thank you for asking about my health, Alimo. Mengistu Katilla is mentioning a story about Pakistan. Almost on daily basis, he does that. He wants to stop me from covering the Horn of Africa. Why? Hard for me to understand. Yini Musica joined. Yini says, "Try to take rest." Yeah, I'll take rest. But I think this live chat is important. I should share my analysis with you. Alimo says, "What could be an immediate reason for Ethiopia to start a war?" I'll explain, Alimo, after a few minutes. Amora says, "Why people want to listen about India-Pakistan conflict? They're crazy." They're not crazy. Actually, they want to divert me from covering the Horn. And secondly, they think that I would defend my country uh, by making biased videos about my country, which I don't do. I never support my country blindly. Uh, I don't make videos. I am not a blind patriot. Uh, what matters is truth. Whether you cover Pakistan or India or the Horn of Africa, you should speak the truth, no matter what the consequences. But don't be a blind patriot. I think it's like being a liar, I would say. Ali Legan joined too says, "Do you think Abi is going to survive the new coalition?" Interesting question. A at sound here. Warse Jafar Jamal joined too. Amora says, "What is the role of Egypt in supporting TPLF?" Well, Egypt could be a main player if armed hostilities start. Egypt came all the way from Egypt to Somalia to provide weapons to Somalia's government. It's very likely Egypt will just jump into this conflict if it happened. Tina Michael, between who will be the war? I'll explain, Tina. Bacha Nagari says, Sajid, short answer. Kashmir belongs to. Please answer it. Oh my God. EW says, if India strikes Pakistan, will you fight for your country? Why should I fight for Pakistan? Uh, I don't think Pakistan is in danger. There could be limited escalation. We should not be fooled by the policies of the leaders. We should oppose wars. It does not mean that I am against Pakistan. No, I'm not. But let's not blindly support the warmongering policies of our leaders. Once we start supporting them, actually we justify them. Jafar says, why is my comment blocked? I find your filter setting on too high. Don't know, Jafar. I'm reading your comment. You're not blocked. JX Ferenga says, do you think Ethiopia has the anti-aircraft capability to repel Egypt? Well, Ethiopia does have uh, air defense systems, S-300. Uh, Everyone knows. I think over 2 years I did a video. You can find it on my Vision News. And in that video, I confirm the deployment of Russian S-300 air defense systems around the site of Gerd, where dam has been built by Ethiopia. Ethiopia has other types of air defense systems too. ET, thank you. Yes, I'm getting better. Mesfan Keher, Unimusica. Muhammad Ibrahim joined. Redemption says, a couple of months back you said war was unlikely. What's new? Yeah, Redemption. I'll try to explain myself. What did I say a few months ago and what I'm saying today? How to reconcile the two statements? I think we should start, viewers. 12 minutes have passed. Let me start. I'll finish in around 10 minutes. Firstly, just one uh, piece of criticism I want to address. Then back to this video. I did a video a few hours ago. I told you about the Sudanese refugees in Eritrea. Several Eritreans, they questioned my report. I said there is not a large number of Sudanese refugee population in Eritrea. But some people, maybe they don't know the facts on the ground, or they just want to criticize whatever I report about Eritrea. They wrote in comment section, Sajid, you are lying. There is a large population of Sudanese refugees in Eritrea. Well, I don't make videos sleeping. I covered Sudanese civil war a little bit, not fully. 4 million Sudanese have been displaced into neighboring countries. 4 million. Majority of them is in Egypt, South Sudan, Chad. Three main countries which are hosting the bulk of Sudanese refugees are Egypt, South Sudan, and Chad. Yes, there are tens of thousands in Ethiopia, in Libya, in Central African Republic. In Eritrea, there are not tens of thousands Sudanese refugees. There could be a few thousand. There could be a few thousand. This is what I have confirmed. A few thousand, not more than that. And some people, when the war started, they entered Sudan to transit. They entered Eritrea from Sudan to transit to another country. You cannot call them Sudanese refugees in Eritrea. So if there are a few thousand Sudanese refugees in Eritrea and there are around a million in Egypt, what should I say? Should I say that majority of Sudanese refugees is in Eritrea? No. So I think those who criticized me, they need to check the facts on the ground. Yes, there could be a few thousand in Eritrea. I'm not saying. Did I say that there is not a single Sudanese refugee in Eritrea? I did not say that. Now, coming back to this live chat verse, let me start. I would request, don't ask questions for a few minutes. Let me explain myself. Then you can ask questions, you can criticize, you can give your feedback. You can disagree with me, you can agree with me. Step but joined. Johannes Asmamau. Yeah, Jafar, there are over 50,000, I think, Sudanese refugees in Ethiopia. Some returned, but the majority of them is in Egypt, South Sudan, and Chad. Midhane joined to Lucy Rock here. Welcome, Lucy. Lucy is a member too. Special welcome, Lucy. I'm better, Lucy, tonight. We have Yini Musica, we have Lucy, we have Aman, three members who have joined so far. If you want to be a member, click the link given in description section of the video of the live chat. That will take you to membership page where you can be a member. Members pay a few dollars per month to be the members. Let me start with now. Uh, I have been saying for the last few months that no war is imminent between Eritrea and Ethiopia. Welcome, Abikareo. I still maintain the same position. No war is imminent between Ethiopia and Eritrea. And when I draw conclusions, generally I base my conclusions on the ground situation. I don't build analysis in the air. I try to link the conclusion with the development on the ground. Yes, we don't know about the future. We don't know about 2026, what will happen after 6 months. But in the short term, in coming days, coming weeks, coming months, no war is imminent between Eritrea and Ethiopia. So my position, the same, no change. But there is another type of threat of war which I want to warn you about. I am not sensationalizing the issue. I'm trying to warn because I am monitoring the developments on this issue, and the news which I'm getting from the ground is alarming. If there is no intervention, if there is no de-escalation, you could see a war, full scale or limited, we don't know, because once two groups start fighting, you never know the direction, you never know when it will end. You saw how the conflict in Amhara started. You know how Ethiopian federal government predicted it would just wrap up war in Tigray in a few weeks, and then 2 year long war destroyed northern Ethiopia. I am talking about Wulkait. Wulkait, Humera Sagade, Tigray calls it Western Tigray. Amhara region calls it Humera Wulkait Sag. They both have their claims to this zone. Things are very rapidly heating up on the ground. And I always base my analysis on the ground situation. What I am getting from the ground, the information which I'm getting from the ground is alarming. It seems that three parties so far, three parties are making preparations. Which three parties? How to avert this conflict? Why is it that this war could happen in coming weeks or months? One of the parties is Amhara community in Meravolkai Sagade, led by Colonel Demakizadu Ashate Damle. Will this Amhara group get support from Fanos? We don't know. But this group does have the support of Amhara Prosperity Party. It has the Amhara regional government's backing too. Large scale recruitment, everyone being trained, armed, mobilization, deployment along Takazé. This is what I wait for to see when I build an analysis. Party number two, Ethiopian National Defense Force, which is not a silent spectator. Western zone is under ENDF control. Damakizadu is operating there in alliance with ENDF. ENDF is not sleeping, it is helping Damakizadu. Rather, what I have learned is that more ENDF units are entering Western zone. ENDF is also beefing up its presence in this flashpoint, in this contested territory. Third party is Tigray military. Tigray military on both sides of Western zone is making preparations. To the east of Takazé, Migbe-led forces are expanding their presence. To the west of Wulkait in Sudan, Army 70 being trained, being organized. Eritrean soil is being used by TPLF to connect with their fighters based in Sudan. It's not a secret now. We have confirmed that Tigray fighters are being reorganized in Sudan. So three parties, all making preparations. Whether you call them defensive preparations or offensive preparations, preparations are there. Where is Eritrean military? Well, no large-scale mobilization or movement of Eritrean military so far. What we have been able to confirm is the activity of the three parties I mentioned. Where they led new Tigray government wants return of IDPs to Humera Wulkait Sagade. And it wants the IDPs to return to their homes in Western Zone before the start of rainy season. Rainy season, almost 2 months away, you can say. So where they led government, Tigray military, TPLF, they know that if IDPs don't return to Western Zone in the next 2 months, then their return will be delayed. Then the IDPs will have to wait for several months. Before the start of rainy season, they want the start of the process of return of IDPs to Humera Wulkait Sag. The Amhara side, Amhara government in Humera Volkaisak is strengthening itself. No likelihood of its dismantlement. ENDF has shown no green light to Tigray forces to enter Wulkait so far. Jafar is saying, Sajid, you are forgetting Gita's group. Jafar, let me complete. Let me complete, please. So, we must read another development with the developments which I'm mentioning about Wulkait, and that is likely decision about the status of TPLF in coming days. NABE is not expected to cancel TPLF status. That's my analysis, not based on any information. But if NABE cancels TPLF status, it will lead to heightened tensions. Or if NABE gives more time to TPLF, even that will lead to tensions. TPLF wants a restoration of its status. Restoration of TPLF status is not on the cards. It seems that NABE won't restore its status. Maybe in future it will, but not in coming days. So Verede led Tigray government and Fisseha Kedano led Tigray military. They're going to put pressure upon the federal government. They're going to put pressure upon Humera Volkai Sagade to start the process of return of IDPs and entry of Tigray forces in the disputed territory. Is federal government ready to take this pressure, or will it resist? Coming days and weeks are crucial. I think gradually TPLF and Tigray military are exerting more pressure upon federal government on the issue of Wulkait. Federal government, Amhara government, they're not giving in. They're showing no signs of flexibility. They're not giving in to TPLF's demands. That is why I am concerned that we could see limited escalation over Wulkait between Tigray forces and Amhara forces. If it happens, what will be the role of three parties? Eritrea, Pano, Gitacho group. So, how many other players will be involved? All that remains to be seen. What should happen? What should people do? First of all, I would say that let's not support war. Whether you support TPLF, whether you support Amhara, whether you support Wulkait, say no to war. Tell the leaders through whatever sources, whatever reach you have, that the issue should be solved through dialogue. War is not a solution. Tigray does not want a war. Amhara does not want any war. This issue should be solved by the start of dialogue. Tigray Amhara direct dialogue should start. Forces which want war would create obstacles in the way of start of this dialogue. And maybe federal government is one of the forces. Federal government is one of the forces which could create obstacles to the start of Tigray Amhara dialogue. What I'm saying is that instead of blindly supporting your ethnic group, your region, You people should call for start of formal talks between Tigray and Amhara sides. Pressure should be exerted on the federal government too, so that this escalation is averted. Again, I am not seeing Eritrea Ethiopia war because the corresponding military mobilization is missing. You cannot just say war is imminent while there is nothing on the ground. Eritrea Ethiopia war not imminent, but Tigray Amhara clash over Wulkait gradually taking shape. When will it happen? We don't know. This month, next month, during rainy season, after rainy, we don't know. Preparations are there. Once you confirm preparations, that is the time to warn people about that preparations are there. This is the time to stop the war. Otherwise, the region could be plunged into another conflict. It's difficult for me to speak more. Uh, Thanks, Mihari. Because I think I should leave. I won't be able to speak more. You can write your, you can express your views, give your feedback about my analysis in comment section. What I said is based on information from the ground. It's partly information, partly analysis. Let's hope that this armed escalation is averted. Signs are there. War is on the horizon over Volkite if there is no intervention. Intervention should happen. Tigray, Amhara regions both need peace. Both are devastated. Tigray destroyed by war, Amhara region being destroyed. They can ill afford a conflict over Volkite. And now, yes, forces inside, outside Ethiopia would like a war between Tigray and Amhara. So it's up to the leader of the two sides, people two sides to decide what to do. Thanks for watching. I'll be back now on Friday next week. Till then, bye bye.